Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to another episode of It's Look Who It Is. And so we're jumping back into it, I suppose, to see if we can be a dreamer. A fighting dreamer, perhaps? Nah, I don't think we're that cool. But, do I know my ABCs? Apparently not. Apparently freaking not. Now, with that being said, who are we gonna play? I have no idea. I am kind of feeling a little bit of Moriko gaming, but kind of thinking maybe we just do a random character and see where it takes us. But the thing is, we probably won't be able to kill the boss if we take a random character, so Ohio it is. You know, Ohio is a place in America. I'm just remembering, anytime there's like fields of yellow in anything, people will just superimpose the text Ohio over it all, and it's really quite good. I remember there was one of those memes in Final Fantasy XIV where in the Alliance raid you're running through this like field of like golden crops, you know? And somebody took a screenshot of that and said that it was Ohio, and it went like semi-viral in the FF community, and then when I logged on, somebody in the Novice Network made an Ohio joke, and then some of the mentors got so pissed off. They were threatening to, like, kick people. They were going crazy. The freaking Ohio discourse of, probably 2022. I don't remember. Because it was like a screenshot before the Alliance raid came out. So maybe it was probably... Was it? No, it was 2022 most likely, right? Right? I have no idea. It was either like late 2022 or like early 2023. But that was before the FC house moved. Because I remember I was standing on top of the roof of the Shirogane house when it was all going down. Can I just tell you, mentor chat, fuck it, we're gonna do, Scars, why not? Mentor chat, aka the Novice Network in Final Fantasy XIV is just so bad. It really is just, abysmally terrible. I'm thinking we don't run from these. If we're gonna commit to fighting the boss, we're gonna commit to fighting the boss. And I will reroll until we get Coma, just as a treat, but, seconds, dexterity, charisma, strength, light source. Okay, cool. But yeah, no, like, the Novice Network is generally pretty bad. Like, there are some people who are helpful in the Novice Network, but it's like, I think you're probably better off just, like, asking a mentor that you find in the overworld if they can help you out with something, than going into the Novice Network. Because the problem with the Novice Network is that it's literally just, like, 90% of the time, it's just mentors talking to each other. And then, when a Sprout asks a question, sometimes people will be like, I don't know, or they just, you know, will give, like, a boilerplate, like, you do this. And sometimes that's okay, but I will say that the most helpful people I've met in this game, some of them weren't mentors, and some of them are mentors, they just don't display their crown because you can hide it. Or some people who are mentors and do display their crown, I didn't find them through the freaking Novice Network, I just found them in the game, and then I started talking to them, and then they were really helpful. So it's like, you know, the Novice Network is an in-group, for sure. At least on my server, because, like, it's the same people talking in it literally every day. And it's the same, like, it's the same groups of people who use it, if that makes sense. Like, you turn the Novice Network on for a week, you're gonna start to recognize names on day 2. Like, there are people who very consistently chat in there. Like, I'll go into the Novice Network, like, once every few months, and it'll just be, like, horrible. Because it's like, there's just nothing to do in the Novice Network except talk with people who I don't really know. And because they're mentors, hold on, I gotta let my dog out of the closet. Because they're mentors, they kind of have this idea that they're like, listen, if you give somebody a crown and a special title saying that they know more about the game than people who don't have this crown and special title, then that is going to make people think that they are superior, or that is going to make people have, like, main character syndrome, right? Like, it truly, I don't think I've ever been, and here's the thing, like, the mentor system in Final Fantasy XIV is so bad. Like, really, the best part about it is that when you're at a party with someone who's below level 80, which it should be level 90 now, but I don't know, they're not gonna, I hope they change it. But, like, if somebody's, like, not, if somebody's below level 80, they get an EXP bonus for being in your party specifically. Like, you invited them, or they invited you. Like, that's literally just the best part about being a mentor. Listen, I have been a Tradecraft mentor for probably, like, a year now. I have never had a single instance of any Sprout asking for assistance on Tradecraft matters, right? Like, I could answer those questions because, you know, it's one of the main areas of the game that I interface with, but, like, if you had a crafting question, I can probably answer it within a decent time frame. Or an acceptable time frame, I should say. But, you know, it's like I've literally never had anyone ask. Because, do Sprouts even know? Like, even if you do know, you probably don't want to bother some random person. But that's what we're supposed to be there for. But nobody ever asks you any questions. Nobody ever asks for help. It's a very strange experience. Like, there's no reason for there to be mentors, I'm pretty sure. Like, maybe the Novice Network helps, like, some people, but at least in the world that I'm in, Coral, like, is pretty, like, literally every time I've been in there, there's either been drama, 99% of the chat is just, like, mentors talking to each other. Like, if you're a mentor and you're in the new player chat, should you really be discussing the new patch? Spoiler-free, of course. I don't want to insinuate that people would spoil anything. The Final Fantasy community is very anti-spoilers. But it's like, people will go into the mentor chat when a new patch drops, they'll be like, hey guys, what do you think of the new patch? And people are like, you know, the patch was good. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'm, like, pining for a purity that never existed. It's literally just an icon next to your name that the game tells you comes with a bunch of responsibilities, but you will never have to lift a finger in your goddamn life. The only thing that seems like pretty difficult to upkeep is probably Mentor Roulette, because you have to be able to do all of the instances that are multiplayer searchable in the game, which is, you know, that's like extremes. Is it Savages too? Because if it's Savages as well, that's kind of nuts. Like, that genuinely is very difficult to do. So, yeah, I think that's, oh my god, the Innsmouth look, this could actually get us killed. It actually got us killed in one episode, and that was kind of crazy. But, yeah, no, what I was gonna say is that, like, the game tells you that mentor is, like, important and that you're gonna have to help people, but the only time anyone has ever approached me about me being a mentor in the wild, somebody who I didn't know before, who was talking to me because I was a mentor, was literally, like, the first day I got my mentor crown. As a Tradecraft person, somebody came up to me in Gridania, and they started ranting about how, because I was actually helping a new player. They were having difficulty finding something, and I was explaining how the system worked and how they could find it. And then somebody came running up to me, started calling me bad at the game, that I knew nothing, and that mentors were all just a bunch of frauds who just gamed the system for commendations, and, oh, dude, it's so easy to get the healer and the DPS role quest done because you can just level summoner. And I'm just, like, sitting here as, like, a fucking crafting guy. Like, what the heck? What the heck? And that's literally the only time I've ever been approached by someone because I was a mentor. Is some dickhead wanting to rant about how mentors are bad. And I mean, fair play, you know, the The best way I've ever heard mentors be described is we're like ninjas. The more of us there are, the worse we are at the game. Like, the more of us in the multiplayer instance. And it's like, yeah, that's true. That tracks 100%. But, yeah, anyways, what was I gonna say? We're out here, we're existing. It's another raid night. I am tired, man. I'm tired. We'll do a little decline, because this is the one rare instance where I would rather take bonus instead. But, I'm tired. So I baked a cake for somebody's birthday party, and it was the first time I ever baked a cake, and we had some of the cake earlier. And let me just tell you, I was gonna say I was cooking, but I was baking, okay? It's true. The cake was pretty good. I'm having a difficulty explaining it because I'm actually tired and my mind is going blank and there's no air circulation in the closet, so you get that, like, brain fog. But, where is he? But, it was fluffy, it was decently fluffy, moist. The frosting was amazing, and the flavor of the cake itself was pretty good. It wasn't as sweet as I probably thought it was gonna be, but it was nice. It was, I think for the first time I've ever baked a cake on my own, from start to finish, with nobody's help, I would say it was definitely a win. It was pretty easy. It was certainly harder than a pie. I think pies are infinitesimally easier. However, cakes, while a little bit more difficult, are still pretty good. And I mean, listen, I've got more of that cake. I'm gonna get some before the raid tonight, and hopefully that'll wake me up, because it's basically just, you know, coconut extract and confectioner's sugar and granulated sugar. But you know, absolutely, it's pretty good. For some reason, I have no idea why, but the frosting had a very, like, citrusy taste, like a very orangey taste, even though there was no citrus whatsoever. So if I ever make it again, which, I mean, here's the thing, it's not like, again, it was good, I just don't know if I'd make it again, because one, it's a lot of sugar, and B, it was a massive serving. Like, I was looking at it online, it says it's like best to eat within the first 3 days, and it can serve like 20 people. That cake was huge, and it's like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get through that, because not as many people showed up to the birthday party that we thought they would. So it's like, it's just a few people taking on this massive cake, and it's like, I don't, the stuff that I've got left, I don't know if I'll be able to eat it. It's too much. It's too much. The ocean is calling you, by the way. Pain Pecco. So that was our first enemy, whoever we just fought. Like, we fought somebody, right? We didn't, actually. We didn't fight anybody? Yeah, no, we didn't fight anybody. So we're still looking for enemy number freaking 1. But we'll go to Bulletin, go to the forest twice in a row, and find both of the enemies that we need exactly. Oh, you should not have said that. That would be too kind and too polite. But yeah, hopefully the frosting can, the cake and the frosting can kick my ass awake. I think it's because I ate the cake earlier, because, like, listen, sugar puts me to sleep. Like, I will have, like, a temporary, like, sugar high, and then I am just like, I want to take a nap. I don't want to raid because of how, like, freaking tired. I don't want to record this video because of how tired I am. I want to take a goddamn nap. But I was lying down earlier, and I was like, that's gonna have to be the best that I can do. Like, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. I swear to God, like, that sugar just, like, beats the shit out of me. It's beating my ass in the quote retweets. I'm just, like, wanting to go sleep. Like, I'm pretty much, like, an hour after eating the cake. But, it's, like, that frosting, just, like, listen, my ass is getting beat a lot recently, okay? That frosting, oh my God. so incredibly powerful. And then the, excuse me. My dog is licking my leg. So be gone, out. Go into the cool air zone. Get out of here, you piece. But anyways, what are we looking at right here? Oh, detritus. Got it. Got it. Wonderful, even. -2 to all? Listen, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I did just say handcuffs. I mean, I saw that she had 11 HP, I saw the damage that she was dealing to us, and I was like, God damn, our computer's heavy. And listen, I gotta tell you, I have kicked my computer more times in this month than I've kicked my computer in its entire lifespan. Because, I swear to God, like, it's right at the closet door, which is the entrance and the exit, and literally, like, every single time, like, I can't swivel my chair to just be able to stand up and walk out of the closet. The chair won't swivel. It's because if I swivel too much to the right, it bumps into the table. If I swivel too much to the left, it bumps into my mouse pad, which is hanging off the table. And then eventually the table itself. And so, like, I am just in this cramped, tiny little box. And then, basically what happens is I just have to kind of, like, push the chair back a little bit, and then, like, shimmy out. Like, there's barely any room that I have here. It's insane. But, we make it work. We make it work. We adapt. We hit these 70% chances. And, then we're feeling pretty good. We're feeling pretty good about an 80-80. An 80-70? I'm not feeling too good about that one, Chief. But we made it work. We made it work. This is a perception weapon, by the way. Honestly, I kind of want to use it now. Stalker, Apartment of the Stalker variety is our second enemy, just for what it's worth. Because the box cutter is going to be better in the early game, and then we're just going to shoot the coma guy to death later, so it'll probably be fine. We read these. Oh, we made a luck check. You'll love to see it. We're shamovin'. Feeling pretty good about that. A Yoichi moment. I mean, I feel like you gotta just rest here, you know? Like, even though we're gonna overcap on the stamina, like, I just feel like that healing is so useful. You can cast a spell without paying anything? Holy crap, that's so generous. You don't decline me, fool, etc., etc. And now we're just kind of chilling. I would like to... One bite won't hurt. Honestly, these are terrible, but we can at least run it back to 8 perception. Feeling pretty good about that. Now, the rest of our stats are, you know, like, abysmal. But that's okay. Hey, look, it's the forest note. ... But yeah, despite the fact that I want to go to sleep because I ate something very sugary, and I feel like I'm going to pass out because of how sugary that goddamn cake was, even though it didn't even taste that sweet, which is, like, an incredible achievement, honestly. But, I did also see the Mario movie yesterday, and I'm going to be real with you. The most disappointing celebrity voice actor in that movie was Donkey Kong. I don't know why, but just something about Donkey Kong's voice just never... Like, I was never immersed in Donkey Kong as a character, if that makes sense. Well, pretty much everybody else, they were pretty good. I will say, like, probably in, like, second place for VAs that I wasn't too excited about was Princess Peach. I don't know who Princess Peach's voice actress is, but, I don't know. Like, I actually really liked Peach in the movie, so that's kind of weird, right? But, yeah, no, I think it was, but overall, though, I did not mind. Like, could it have been better? And were there some really awkward deliveries, at least some of the time? Yeah. Yeah, there could have been absolutely a better Mario, for sure. If only there were, like, voice actors who were experienced in voice acting characters that could do, like, a good Mario voice. And I'm not even talking about, like, Mario's actual VA. I mean, like, the Mario that I've seen in, like, some of the trailers for the other languages is just absolutely a delight, you know? But, regardless, I thought the movie was pretty good. And Jack Black as Bowser was perfect. Absolutely adored it. Loved it. And I will say, despite being kind of like half and half on Peach's voice actress, I really liked Peach in the movie. You know, a lot of the time, Peach is sort of like the damsel in distress character. And this is sort of like a different telling of the story, where it's Luigi who's gotten captured by Bowser, and it's up to Mario to save him. But even then, like, Luigi still gets a couple of licks in. So, it was all in all, like, listen, I'm a Peach fan, okay? Somebody asked me who's your favorite Nintendo girl, I'm saying Princess Peach. I'm basic like that, okay? But, yeah, I liked her. She was good in the movie. And I even, like, I mean, here's the thing. Literally, my biggest complaint with the movie is just that the voice actors in the English version were just cast because they're celebrities. Like, that's literally it. That's, like, my biggest complaint with the movie is that. And, like, pretty much the only casting that I really, really liked was Jack Black. And his name is Kamek, right? The Magic Koopa. Like, I liked Jack Black, I liked Kamek, and I liked, Toad. Toad was actually phenomenal. I really enjoyed the guy that they got to do Toad. I'm not familiar with who he is, though. I'm not familiar with most of the people. The only people that I knew beforehand were Chris Pratt, because he's the Star-Lord guy, the Guardians of the Galaxy guy, and the guy who voices Donkey Kong, because I've heard his name before. And, of course, Jack Black. But, everybody else don't really know who they are, but, well, I guess I had heard of Charlie Day, Luigi's voice actor. But yeah, that was a pretty good movie. The only thing that I guess I didn't really like about the movie was, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but there wasn't really, like, okay, so a running theme in the movie, you've probably already seen the movie, it just made $1 billion. But, you know, this is a spoiler for something that's not in the movie. But it's like a running theme that doesn't have any payoff, if that makes sense. That's the kind of spoiler we're talking about here. But basically, there's sort of a running theme in the movie where Mario is made to feel like a lesser person, like inadequate, a loser, a joke. The only person in his family, besides his brother Luigi, who supports him, is his mom. You know, his old boss, Spike, hates him, his dad calls him a loser, and, you know, in sort of like typical isekai fashion, when he gets to the Mushroom Kingdom, he's like bumbling around, kind of being an idiot. Peach he finds Peach, he runs into her, Peach beats him up, and Peach is like, wait a minute, you're human. And then, you know, there's a little bit of like a romantic tension, or like a romantic spark, I should say. There's no romantic tension in the movie, like a romantic spark. And then Peach trains him, shows him how to use power-ups, all that sort of thing. And then Mario is actually kind of like doing it, you know, he's kind of like actually not being, like, he's not being made to feel like a loser. And then, you know, blah blah blah. There's a scene where there's sort of like this downtrodden moment, right? And I'm not talking about the realistic panic attack. I'm talking about a different scene entirely. But there's like a downtrodden moment where like Mario is on this high, where he's doing it big, and he's finally not like he's finally not feeling like the loser. And then there's the low point, and I was expecting it to be sort of like a heartfelt moment. Donkey Kong is there too, and Donkey Kong is also in this low moment. So I was expecting there to actually be like some sentiment, you know, some actual like emotion, but instead it's two jokes, and then one of the characters says we're even, and then they're back in it, like they're back in the fight, and the low moment is over. And it felt like a big it was technically a subversion of my expectations, but it wasn't a very good one, and I didn't really like that part. And there never was like, and like seriously, it's like this whole theme of Mario being made to feel like a loser, which is throughout the entire movie, and even at the end of the movie too. It just doesn't have any payoff, because, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, when, you know, the good guys win, amazing, incredible, they're, like, all of the people who treated Mario like dog water, they don't really... Nothing changes, nothing really happens, it's just like, hey, we were treating you like shit because you were a loser, but now because you're cool, we're treating you like you're cool, right? Like, it didn't work for me, like, at all. But with that being said, like, just, like, how do I put it? It felt like they were building up to something with that, but they weren't. And so it just seems like kind of a letdown. But all in all, you know, that's just like, that's pretty much the complaint that those are the two complaints that I have with the movie. Everything else is phenomenal. The music was great. I mean, of course it was going to be great. It's a Nintendo. The music was always going to bang. But, the music was great. The animation was really good. I would say it took me a little bit of time to get used to Mario and Peach's face specifically, but I got used to it. They look good. I really like the models that they used. I really like the models on, like, all of the characters. Really, they all looked incredibly well detailed. They were phenomenal. And here's the thing. A big complaint that I heard of the movie when I first started watching it was, or not when I first started watching it, but before I even, like, one of the earliest critiques I heard about the movie, and biggest complaints, was that, I need to go get that bite taken care of, by the way, but, was that the movie's pacing was way too fast, and it felt like some, like, people were calling it, like, a typical Illumination or something, like, the pacing is way too fast, it doesn't let any scene sit for any length of time, like, it's just rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. I don't know, like, I don't agree with that at all, because of course the movie has fast pacing. It's a movie. Like, this isn't a 12 episode, each episode is an hour-long Netflix series that you're gonna binge watch in a day and a half, you know? This is a movie. Like, no matter what story you're going to tell, like it's a movie, right? Like, I can't be the only one thinking that, right? Like, what do you want from the Mario movie? It's not going to be slow paced. It's gonna be quickly paced, because they have to have this sort of, like, very fast, like, Mario's life before the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario's life in the Mushroom Kingdom, Bowser, the stakes, the fight, they have so much that they have to cram into. I don't even know how long the movie was. It didn't feel that long. But, like, of course it's gonna be paced quickly. Of course it's gonna be paced fast. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like, if you wanted to, like, quote, appropriately, unquote, pace the story, you would be like it would be like it would be like 7 hours, right? It would be like 7 or 6 hours. There's no way that you could do like pretty much, like, think about it, like how, like, movies are short, and I know that sounds insane because there have been some movies recently that are like 3 hours or 4 hours long or whatever, but like in the grand scheme of things, a TV show that has 12 episodes is going to be able to tell is going to be able to tell a story. A TV show with 24 episodes is going to be able to tell an incredibly detailed story. Anything more than that, you're going to be able to build like a freaking world. Okay, but like a movie is like a one shot of like a plot line that it was slightly too long for like an episode, for like a single episode. You know, like, it's crazy how short movies are in comparison to everything else. And so it's like, I don't know what anybody was expecting, because, and admittedly, I will say this is a complaint that I have with movies, and why I generally don't like them, is that movies are not paced very well. And so you have this story, in a lot of the time when you're watching a movie, you either have a story that goes nowhere because they have to wrap it up in 5 nanoseconds, or the movie is just like 3 hours long, and then it's like me watching a 12-hour video documentary, a video essay about something I don't care about, versus me watching a 3-hour movie. You know, I'll be attentive for that 12-hour shit, but a 3-hour movie, nah, I sleep. I don't know why, but anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is, like, there's no fucking way that, like, movies, if you're making a movie, you have to make a movie-length story. And if you're having to introduce characters for the first time, because people might be like, oh, everybody knows who Mario is. Okay, but also, this is the first movie, right? This is the origin story. This is the beginning. So you're gonna have to introduce Mario, you're gonna have to introduce Luigi, you're gonna have to give them characterization, you're gonna have to introduce Peach, Toad, Bowser, blah blah blah. They set up Yoshi because there was like a bunch of Yoshi eggs at one point in the movie. So they're probably gonna do like Super Mario 2, but Mario gets Yoshi or something. I don't know, but you're having to do all this shit for the first time because it's the beginning, and I was actually impressed with how they paced it, because when a scene is over, it just kind of gracefully transitioned to the next scene. And it was, I mean, listen, they had a travel montage, so that's always going to feel janky as hell. But for real, I was generally pretty impressed. Hey, let's go. We don't need the katana. Lucky number 9? Oh, sorry, it was lucky number 6. 6 was the way to go last time. Oh, can I level up? I actually can if I get rid of discharge summary. So I probably should do that. Was that a fire icon? I don't remember if we had, like, to do knowledge stuff, but... Oh, we have mind drain? What the hell? Okay, yeah, I will absolutely take the knowledge stuff for sure. Should have done number 3. Should have done number 3. Simple as. Just don't miss. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, dude. But, was that the bite of 84? Holy shit, just get me out of here. Oh my god. I should have used Mind Drain on that enemy. Please give me another enemy to fight. Please give me another enemy to fight. I beg of ye. I need to Mind Drain. No, you piece. Box cutter, it's broken. I mean, I've got Mind Drain. I don't care. For the most part. Oh, yeah, I love Max 8 Reason. Get this shit out of here. Coma Ward. I mean, I guess we're gonna hit the Coma Gritty, the right foot. We're here. And you know what? Hopefully we don't have to use it. Although I will absolutely put away the broken bottle so we can go to the village a couple of times, just as like a nice little treat. The wine is terrific, thank you so much. And then I now have to spend 2 funds instead of 1 because I'm a dumb idiot, dumbass. Oh no, the dog. It's twisted. Now, admittedly, I have to be very careful about this, because we're now at 9 max. So, be very careful with this. Be very careful with this. And I do indeed need to carry the Dust of Seeing around with me. Our inventory is almost full. What if we discarded that? That would be very funny. Wish we could steal some more handcuffs. Statements by the utterly deranged. This is what World of Horror gamers have been demanding your respect for. Well, you know, the prices of everything have skyrocketed. That's true. Absolutely. Oh, you know, speaking of things with insane prices, Frozon, I think that's the company's name, just released a scanner that converts objects into 3D printable files, and oh my god, I wish I had an extra $1,000 lying around. That would be so crazy, can you imagine? Just being able to scan something and then get a 3D model of it. Like, it wouldn't be perfect, but like, I know enough about Blender and 3D models that I could fix something if like I scanned it and it wasn't oh my god. I want one of those things so badly. Listen, okay, current plan. Become famous YouTuber and then pivot to doing 3D printing stuff exclusively. Okay, we'll have 1,000 episodes of the daily 3D print. And then Frozon will sponsor. Okay, that's the master plan, TM. Oh my god, I want one of those things so badly. That would go so hard. That would go so crazy. Now for this, none of this goes crazy and none of this goes hard. But we'll take the premium hunt, the buckshot, just as a little treat for fun. And then I'll do sanity anyways, even though we have like 80 million ways of recovering sanity. Oh, you piece. It's insane to me that we have, has this video been going on for 40 minutes? I have 8 minutes to get to, we've got 2 mysteries and I've got 8 minutes before my raid? What the hell? What in God's name? We've been playing this so slowly. Are you crazy? What am I even supposed to do here? I mean, goodbye, Stockchan, Rip Bozo, Packwatch, etc., won't be missed. What if I just, like, died, you know? You ever consider that? Not enough room, sent to the storeroom. Also, this is the last freaking mystery we can see the 2 guys on. We have to see the Dream Eater and the Dream Salesman on this mystery. Oh my god. Alright. Listen, I got a strict cutoff point. We're going for the achievement. 8 minutes to go until the dawn of Uwu getting smashed by Ifrit and maybe Titan if we're lucky. Crazy. They just don't exist. They just don't exist. The briefcase dream code allows you to fight both of the dream enemies, by the way. This is true. This is confirmed true and real by true Shiikawa patriots. Okay, there we go. Okay, hear me out here. Let me cook. 8, by the way. And I mean, like, 8 max reason, not 8 minutes, because that was a minute ago when I said that, so that technically... You peace? It's dangerous here? Increased reason penalty? Can I just please see the final guy? I don't even want to win anymore, I just want to see the dream salesman. My man's in the forest, he's selling dreams in the woods. But unfortunately for us... doesn't exist. True. I mean, we gotta call it here. I can't give you another one. I'm in remiss. The dream enemies don't work. I'll just spam the forest. It's easy. Just spam the forest. It's easy. Also, flashbacks with coughing blood could literally, like, just straight up kill multiple characters, which is very funny. Like, if we had one of those bites, we would just be dead. Like, we would literally just be dead right then and there. That's so funny. Oh, come on. What do you... yes, it's Dream Cage Woman. Everyone knows this. Many people are saying this. Uh-huh. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It really is Jover. It really is Jover. It's Jawarida. Mangled fucking hand. I mean, we just gotta spam it. We just gotta spam it in the future, you know what I mean? Like, when we... Like, the next episode is literally just gonna be going to the forest until we see both of them. Like, yeah, no. We could have easily won that one, but... I want the achievement. Because I want to try the new god. I saw a picture of him on the wiki. He looks cool. But yeah, so tomorrow's episode, we will literally, it's not going to be a fun episode tomorrow, it's going to be Web goes camping in the forest for however long the episode is. Stay safe out there, have a good one, bye.